Oh, that's the wrong place. What am I doing? Hey, Lisa, how are you? One moment, I'm trying to. I'm like all over the place. I'm in the wrong thing. This is the business page. Hold on. What am I doing? I need to share this to. Sorry, I was running late. I was doing the. Good evening, Tammy. How are you? I was doing the forecast for tomorrow, and I was trying to. It's uploading right now to YouTube. I was trying to get it to start the upload because it takes a while for it to upload. So hopefully, my computer doesn't crash because I'm running this, trying to broadcast and upload at the same time. But I want to get it uploaded. Excuse me. Let me just share this really. Oh shit. 1 second, guys. I'm rushing now and I'm making mistakes. Hold on 1 minute. There we go. And one other place, and then we're good to start. If you guys want to share out the video, you can. Because I still can't share. I can only share to 2 groups where I admin. The Reading Exchange and this group called Connections to the Soul or something. Hey Katrina Louise, good morning from Australia, or hello from Australia. Hey Jamie, how are you? So a couple things. We've got, I did tomorrow's forecast is already, I just finished it. Uh-oh. I saw a red light on my broadcast stream. I hope my stream's coming through to you guys. I should check YouTube and see that I'm live too. Let me see really quick. I may not even be live. Oh, I am. Okay, perfect. All right. So a couple things. I just finished doing tomorrow's forecast for the morning. Interesting forecast. It's a good one. Don't worry. Nothing to be worried about or to stress about. It's just interesting what cards came up. Because I'm working with 2 totally different decks because it's February 1st. So I switched out the decks. So you guys will get to see tomorrow morning the new decks that we're using. Good morning, or good afternoon, good evening, whatever. I don't know what time it is. I get so confused because I'm working on tomorrow's forecast tonight, and it's today, and I'm like, what? I'm in a time warp. Hey, Emily, regardless. So I cracked open the 2 new decks, and I added them to, I used them for the February 1st forecast. And it's interesting because I feel like even though we switched decks, the forecast sort of, we got another major arcana card in our tarot card, which we've been getting those in aces all week. So this is the final day. Tomorrow will be the final day of this week. And it's just interesting to me that even with a different deck, another major arcana card came out, like to follow all of those other ones that we got this week and all of those ace cards that we saw. So it should be tomorrow, should be stellar. And then I want to explain to you guys a little bit about the Patreon, this account. Basically what Patreon is an opportunity. It's not mandatory. I don't expect you guys, if you guys don't have the funds to support it, that's fine, don't. It's not going to necessarily change how I do things. The only thing is over on Patreon, I'm going to try and include everything that I do for you guys now, plus some more stuff so that people feel that they're getting something and they have an opportunity to sort of help me financially by just sending a monthly donation, right? It just automatically deducts. And there's different subscription tiers, right? So if you just want to get the forecast early, like ideally in a perfect world, what I'll have it do is I will have the forecast go out the night before. So the forecast will go out, say, at 8 p.m. Like tonight at 8 p.m., it would be ready on Patreon. And tomorrow morning, the day of, you guys would get it free on YouTube, how you normally get it, right? So that doesn't really change much. But for those people that want to see it the night before or want it ahead of time, they can subscribe and get to see it early. They get early access. And then there's other benefits to each. There's going to be special readings that I'm going to do over there monthly. And for Tammy, at the highest level, and this isn't just for Tammy, but I was just thinking about it because Tammy's such a chunky. The highest level is 3333, and the reason why I did that, I'm just explaining to you guys why I did it because it does look a little bit pricey. But I did 333 for the first level, which is just to get the forecast early and to support me. And basically that equates out to, if I do the forecast every day for 30 days, that equates out to you paying me 11 cents per forecast. Doesn't seem like much, right? But if a bunch of you do it, it could be something sustainable, and it makes me feel like I'm valued for the work that I do, kind of thing. Do you understand? Because right now I just do this for free as a service to you guys, getting on every morning, getting up early, and filming these and loading them and doing all that. So that's the first level of service. The second level of service is 777, right? Angel numbers. That's the whole point. And so 777 gets you this Archangel message every month. I'm going to do a special pick a card that's only available on Patreon. That's going to be around the angels and the archangels and sort of your messages from your angels. So that's there. And then those people from the 777 get access to that reading once a month. 1111 gets to vote and also gets access to that same Archangel reading every month. And there will also be, I'll add in other stuff here and there for different groups and make it available to different people. But as you get up higher, 22, then I got to 1111 and I wanted to do the 3 master numbers, 11, 22, and 33. So I did 11, 11, 22, 22, and 33, 33. On 22, 22, you'll get, that is the level of the cherubs. So I did a special Cupid's love reading for that group. So you'll get all the other stuff, plus a monthly reading on love, which you know me, I don't necessarily, I'm not super hot on doing those, but I will do them for you. And I hope that they'll turn out to be good. And then at the top tier, which is 3333, the 2 advantages of that tier is I'm thinking about doing tarot classes where I'm going to hopefully be able to teach you guys how to read like I do, which is basically based on intuition and symbolism, and show you guys where and how I do it, if there's an interest in that, okay? And then if there's, and then beyond that, there's also going to be a free charming event only for those members. So, and that's, the top 2 tiers are limited to only 20 people per tier, right? So the level of the cherubim and the level of the seraphim are only 20 in each group. So that when we have, there's a special night at the cherubim level where you get a free night of card pulls, like it's a card pull party kind of thing. And that night, technically if everybody showed up, it would only be 40 people in the room, right? For the seraphim, which is the top level, y'all would get your own charming video or charming night event once a month, and the charmings are free. You don't have to pay for them. But you would basically, the way that I'm looking at it is if there's 20 people in that group, if all 20 showed up to the charm event, you wouldn't all get a charming, right, that night. But every month, every 3 months or so, you would get a free charming. Does that make sense? So even though you're paying $33.33 during the month, you would get at least every 3 months, because I do 4 or 5 charmings a night at an event, maybe if I do 6. So I might be able to do do you understand what I'm saying? Am I frozen? Can you guys hear me at least? I don't know. Anyways, that's the thinking behind the Patreon. I think it's because I'm trying to upload this damn, let me see. Well, it's almost 40% done, so it should, my poor computer. Can you guys see me at all? Oh, jeebus. Let's see here. Facebook is standstill too? Because it looks like my camera's tracking me on this end. Am I super lagging? Hey Nicole, how are you? Well, I'm worried about, you can certainly buy a charming, Nicole, but what I'm afraid of is that the camera is being weird. Everybody's saying that I'm lagging. You can see me and hear me, but I'm not moving, Katrina? We can see you on Facebook, but on Facebook you are something. YouTube is good, okay. You can hear me, Nicole? Maybe it's people's... I know I'm trying to upload the YouTube forecast right now on my end, but it's about halfway done, so... It came out and it was fixed. Alright, so I'm moving fine. Nicole, if you want to send over payment, I can certainly do a charming for you. I just have to adjust the cameras. So that's the Patreon thing, guys, is like basically it's an opportunity to support me at some level, and I'll give you guys like sort of free readings and bonus stuff on Patreon. Does that make sense? So it's not like it's mandatory. I don't want you guys to freak out, but if you want some of the stuff that's going to be over there, then you would need to sign up for it. The top 2 tiers, though, are only for 20 people each, so just keep that in mind. I don't know that they're going to fill up. Like, I'm not trying to freak you out and be like, oh, scramble. But if you're interested in any of those things, check them out. There is only 20 seats in each because I wanted to keep them small, because if there was 20 people that were interested in like tarot classes, I want to keep it where I can actually maybe teach you guys something of value, and we can all interact via like a Zoom class, right? Where you would have to go get a deck and bring your deck, and we would all talk about the different imagery and why it makes, and sort of do exercises to help you guys tap into that intuitive stuff that I do with the cards. So that's available to you, but I'm going to do it via Patreon so that I can sort of support myself. Okay, so I'm good on both. All right, great. So that's fine. It's $25, Nicole. And you have my Engelgeist link here. That's the Linktree link there. If you use the PayPal link and send $25, it'll notify me, and then I can do the charming for you. I also want to shout out Karen. Thank you, Karen. If I don't know if Karen's on, she might be at work, but Karen, I just noticed that you did Patreon for the 1111 level, so thank you very much. You're my first Patreon. I really appreciate it. It's just a great way. So that way I'm going to send out the link right away tonight once I get it uploaded, so she can have access to it early and see the forecast early before anybody else, so she can know what's going to happen tomorrow. It's the blue link that says Engelgeist 333. Here, I'll put it in again. Do you see it in the chat? It should say Restream.io, and then it's got Linktree, Engelgeist 333. Is it not showing up in the chat? It looks like it should be. Hey, Karen. Thank you so much for your Patreon. I just noticed it on my phone. So, just so you know, I was just explaining to people, Karen, I've done yet tomorrow's, the deal with Patreon is I'm going to release the forecast early to the Patreon subscribers. So when I get it fully uploaded to YouTube, I will send you a link with tomorrow's forecast, so you get to see it tonight before anybody else. You guys don't see it. This is a mess. No, when join on mobile, I only see comments from when I join onward. I've just typed them in though. That's weird. You guys can't see that? Oh, I need Ducky. Let me see if I can get Ducky on, because she's not here right now. Let me see. Maybe Ducky can get it to work. No, it should show up in the thing. Karen, thank you. Yeah, you have to go down to the bottom and see, and those 2 tiers are only limited to 20 people each. So, and those, I'm gonna like do other stuff too. I just don't want to like put up a list of stuff and then not be able to deliver on Patreon. So I'm keeping it simple for now, but I'm also gonna add in extra special nights for people, go live from Patreon, do all of that sort of stuff, because those people are at least like subscribing. I don't know if it's Mercury retrograde. I hope not. I've been having trouble with my computer though, to be honest. Like, it froze up on me the last time I went live. Yeah, it says I'm 56% uploaded. It is uploading slow, I can tell you that. And Ducky's not answering. I think Ducky might be busy. Either that or we can do it another night. I don't know what to say. It's how would I do this? Maybe I can send it to you. Maybe I can send it to you. Hold on one second, Nicole. Let me see if I can send it to you in were you trying to remember where, oh, here we go. I can send it to you in Messenger. Hold on one second, Nicole. This is so ghetto. Oh, let me see here. This is what I get for rushing. Copy link. I'm gonna mail it to you in Facebook Messenger from my business page. So there's the Linktree link. I just sent it to you. Tammy, did you join? Thank you, Tammy. Now you guys are gonna make me, okay, so awesome, you got the link. Now you guys are gonna make me have to, like, I'm gonna have to hork out all of these videos for you guys. That's the thing, because you guys, at the higher levels, you get the Archangel reading every month, the Cupid's Love reading every month, a free card draw. Plus, in the early part, this is the thing, if you guys come in at the 33 level, your monthly charming, if it's only the two of you at that level, then I just sit there and charm shit for you guys for an hour or however long. So in the early part of it, it's kind of a good deal because you get, you get, if there's only like 2 or 3 of you in there and you guys attend the charming event, you're sure to get a charming for free. So it's kind of, and it's all just you guys. It's just us and the charm box. I'll like send you guys the link to the video and we go live that way. All right, you sent it? All right, let me just double check and make sure. Awesome. All right, Nicole, let me set up the cameras really quick. Give me one moment. I gotta just rearrange my cameras because I didn't have any reservations, so I wasn't sure if anybody was gonna want any charmings tonight. Okay. Need to change cameras to the Brio. Oh, you guys are seeing what the new cards are. I don't want you to see what the new cards are. This is for tomorrow. Ah, get this box up open. Okay, there you go. Now you can't see. Okay, let me flip this vertically. Okay. Did it flip? Yes, it did. Okay, perfect. Oh, wait, I'm going the wrong direction. Wait, why is this backwards? This should be, I guess, over here then? Feels like my camera's back. Oh, you know what? I think I moved my camera. I knocked it over the other day, and that's why it's not as far over as it should be. Okay. All right, I don't want you guys to see the decks that we're using tomorrow. I feel like I just got caught with my pants down. Okay. Do I ask what the 124 part of the totals on this screen mean? Hee, January 24th? Wait, what are you talking about? I'm confused. Oh, and my toothpick's on the desk. That's disgusting. Isn't that nice? Well, at least I practice good dental hygiene, right? Tammy, you guys are fighting over it. There's more than 133, you guys. All right, so, Nicole, I need a subject for your charming. Right? Did you see that video of my underwear where I had people guessing my underwear? It's really warm in here. Hold on, I need to take off my sweatshirt. I'm like dying. I don't know why I'm so hot all of a sudden. The title of this live video shows 124 in the title. Oh, shit. Maybe it's wrong. It might have changed. 124. Oh, I didn't change the date from the last time we did a charming because I copy it and paste it and I forgot to change it because I was rushing. Love or work. All right, let me, let's just see what comes out and I'll try and keep a focus on that. So, hey, Kelly Talbot. Yes, I did get caught with my underwear, Nicole. Yes. Okay, here we go. All right, let's see what we've got going on here. Instantly, the first thing I see right out of the gate that really attracts my attention, I'm just going to say this, is the way that this feather is falling on the dream catcher. I feel like you feel, and this could apply to both work. All right, hold on, let me get the chat box up. All right, Nicole, I'm feeling that this could apply to both work and, like I almost feel like this is your general overall energy, if this makes sense. Now, let's look at the letters first, and then I'll say what's going on. So we've got an R, we've got a Z, we've got an E, and we've got an O, or 0. Uh-oh. You've got a 0. All right, so this is the thing. I feel, and it's funny that this says 0, because I feel like you're having trouble. That's why I say that this feels like your overall energy, and this might be permeating a little bit into your work life and your love life, both. I feel like you have big dreams, right? You have the dream catcher here, but what I find interesting is that the feathers to me feel kind of a little bit confused or caught up. Does that make sense? I would feel better if these feathers were sort of dropping down like loose. They feel kind of wound tight, or like there's this sense of confusion around here. It says to me, like as I'm looking at it, I feel like you definitely have focus on your dreams, or like you know what you want, but you're having a hard time executing it. And then the reason why, I don't know if that's from outside sources or from internal sources, but I feel like you feel a little bit bound up or confused. It's not that you're confused about what you want, but maybe you're confused about how you can go about getting it. The other reason why I feel like this is that you have this unicorn, which is really a magical charm and really a good charm, but he's face down and upside down, right in the center of everything, right? But there's hope, because you do have the Abraham Hicks charm, which to me, this charm is all about manifestation, like the bringing in of positive manifestation. And the growing of that, hence the tree on there. So I feel like there's might be some like wonkiness in your energy right now. I don't mean this in a bad way, but like this sort of like not knowing exactly which way to go or which way to take things. Also you have the rooster, which is symbolic of luck, right? And he's face down too, and he's right next to the ring, which is interesting because you have the black heart ring right here, and the rooster's hooked onto it, but he's face down. Like I feel like maybe you're not very lucky in love. It's what this is saying to me right here. And I think that the black heart to me, the black heart ring always like sort of signifies like you're not like necessarily a traditionalist, but there is this part of you that does want like that idea of marriage or that perfect love. But I feel like with the black heart, there's a little bit of an edge to it, right? You're not like, how do I want to describe this? It's not like you want to have this like perfect wedding and the 2.5 children and all of that. It feels like you want to have like that ideal love, but you're okay with it being a little bit edgy or different than like the societal norms. But you're still not having the best of luck here, is what it feels like with this rooster sort of sitting here. And your personal magic is kind of feeling a little bit off to me. Right? We have this guy here, and he is Saint, I can't remember his name, I think it's Saint Anthony of Padua. He's the remover of obstacles, and I feel like he's also giving us trouble. Does that make sense to you? Ground zero, it makes sense. Okay, cool. And he's also sort of face down and upside down, which means to me, like, I feel like you're being challenged right now in these two departments. There's something going on that I do see it changing with what's going on here, and I'll explain to you why. I do see it changing, but right now it's feeling stifled or a little bit like it's not running quite as smooth as it maybe has in the past. You have believe in your dreams. You have the big listen, which is the giant conch shell, which is like listening to spirit. That's how I see that shell. Is like this is like when spirit talks to us, but this is the big listen, right? This is like the hey, Nicole, pay attention kind of thing. So these are all in your future, right? And so these say to me that your manifestation and your growth in that is going to get better. when you start probably listening to maybe your own intuition, your own spirit, and you start to really believe in your dreams. I think you do believe in your dreams. You certainly have a clear idea of what you want. It's like the execution is a little funky. Like there's something that either the environment is getting in the way. Something's just not quite happening. I do like that this is upright, right? We have the top of the charm definitely upright. So it's like we're working on getting our dreams made available to us, right? So over here, this is kind of heading into the future. It's not quite there yet, but it's the faith charm. So faith is going to play a key role in all of this at some point. You have to like find that faith within you. I also think that when you find that faith, that I feel like there's a direct correlation between this faith and this unicorn. Like I almost feel like once this faith comes back, this sort of unicorn might actually flip over, and you might have access to your own magic again. You do have the Monopoly house, which to me, this is kind of like, this is the house, but it's also like the schoolhouse. Isn't this the sort of the schoolhouse? They used to have the little green ones were the houses, and this was the school or something. It reminds me of a little red schoolhouse. Anyways, this could signify, I'm going to say this is a schoolhouse. That's what my intuition is telling me. This sort of signifies that there is something that, like, I feel like not only do you need to listen, but there's like some learning that needs to take place, or some. I almost feel like this is upside down because like you've learned something wrong and you need to address that. Like that's the upside down nature of this, is that something that was taught to you and in the future coming up, you're going to have to address it because it's going to stand in the way of your sort of your manifestational ability. And so it's going to require to be able to grow and manifest in the way that you want and to listen to spirit and believe in your dreams. You're going to have to let go of some of these limiting beliefs or whatever it is that you were taught here that you've maybe adopted. I think this is the realization where you start to realize very clearly that it's not working. That like that sort of set of ideas, those sort of teachings, whatever that life experience was that's sort of dictating to you in love or work, whatever's limiting you, you're gonna have to like really see it for what it is and let it go. Somewhere you picked up like I want to say like some bad, not bad, but like some learning or conditioning that isn't necessarily serving you anymore. So it's time to let that go. And this is also signified here too, is like the boxing glove is up here, which says to me there might be a little bit of a fight within yourself where you have to kind of fight in the higher mind to sort of release some of these limiting thoughts that you've learned throughout your life that aren't serving you so that you can grow. There is the opportunity for growth and for faith. These charms are here even though they were originally flipped over. You just need to access them. And some of this faith too is it's about like having faith over what we've learned that isn't ours to begin with. Do you see what I'm saying? Like if you have that faith and trust in yourself, that's what re-empowers this magical unicorn to kind of come back. This belief in ourselves, this belief in this idea that we can create our dreams, we can believe in them, we can like change our luck, and we can like bring our dreams about, like realign our dream catcher so that it's beautiful like that, right? And this, I love that this is up in the high mind too. So it says to me like these sort of things like our dreams, our faith, these are the things that we would want to have up there, right? That we would want to be sort of leading with and cultivating. And I think that you will begin to cultivate those things. As you cultivate them and start to seek them out, you'll find that your situations will greatly change and get better. Right now they feel a little bit wonky though, right? With the way that these things were laid out. I do think that you have this guy too. He's like the remover of obstacles. Even though he's down, upside down and face down, he is he's here. His energy's here. He can help you, right? So we want to like be aware of that. Like we have outside help. That's also this conch shell, right? This is that idea of listening to sort of your own spirit, listening to your guides, listening to your angels, letting that information in through. It's like, to me, I'm going to flip the camera really quick. I put that charm in there because it's sort of like the big wake up, right? To me, I put two different conch shells. One was a small one and that's the big one. It's like the big listen, like put it to your ear and listen. You'll hear the ocean, right? Put it to your ear and listen. You'll hear your guidance, right? Your own internal guidance, or your guidance from your angels, your guidance from your spirit guides, your guidance from God, whatever your sort of wherever you're connected in that sort of deeper intuitive awareness, that's what this represents. Is this is an opportunity to sort of start to pay attention to that and bring that in. As you do that, you start to. It also helps to aid that faith. All right, I'm going to put it back so you can see these charms. It also starts to aid this faith up here too. They both kind of coincide. Once you get the faith, you can then start to listen. You can then start to grow. You can then start to, maybe not. I don't see this as like it is fighting a little bit. It is sort of like, trying to really challenge yourself in a way to think differently, to not. Oh, sorry, it went. Is that going to fix it? Come on. There we go. This is like an opportunity to sort of challenge the thoughts that might be limiting you that you've learned along in your life and let them go. Okay? Hi, Joanne Jojo Wilson. Now, this is interesting, she says. So I think that you're in a good place, and I feel like you're right on the cusp of sort of changing all of this. I also think that when you have this faith and this magic comes back, this rooster kind of flips back over too, and then you have that good luck. You do have this idea of love. This could be the possibility of maybe getting married. This ring doesn't necessarily strike me as the most traditionalist in marriage, but you do believe in that sort of like bonded relationship. Like you do seek that, right? It may not be like so traditional, like white wedding kind of girl, but you do want that kind of almost like a commitment in a way that is real and solid. Do you love the dream? I love the dream catcher too, Regina. You know what? I'll tell you where the dream catcher came from. Just as a little story, my grandmother, I took care of her for 2 years in Montana, and I stayed in her house, in my great grandmother's house. It was the house that my great grandmother built from this little shack in this rural town in Montana. And I was staying in the house, and I was, you're bored. I was there for 2 years. There was nothing to do. And it was like the house of my ancestors. So I kind of went through some of the cabinets and stuff, just like looking at stuff, because I had been there when I was a very, very small child. I even found like weird pictures of me as a baby when I was there at the house on the couch that had never changed, and I was 46, or no, I wasn't 46, I'm 46 now, but I was in my 40s when this was all going on, and it was weird. It was like, some 36 years later, and it was the same couch, the same doilies on the back of the couch, the same, like, pillows. They were all worn, like, it was weird. But this was a keychain that was in one of the little cabinets in the bedroom that I slept in. And so when my grandmother died, I didn't take many things. I took pictures of my grandmother and some of my relatives that I wanted to keep, that I framed and put in my living room. And I took this little keychain because I just loved it. There was something about it. And now it's ended up in my charm box. And I think it's one of the most beautiful charms. I have a feeling that this keychain belonged to my great granduncle, which was my grandmother's brother, Bill. And he's passed. And so it was kind of like I didn't take much from the house, like, because there was this big ugly family thing over my cousins not wanting me in the house and all this stupid shit. But that was the one thing I wanted, was this little rinky-dink keychain. And it's not like of any value, I don't believe. It's just like I don't know, I just think it's cool. So I brought it home. It used to hang in my truck, actually. For a minute, it hung in my truck. I have like my grandmother's handkerchief in my truck. So that's where that came from. I'm a bit of a romantic in that way. Like now, and I also have one of her handkerchiefs on my front entryway underneath a candle from her memorial service. So yeah, so I think that things are like gonna work out for you. It's just that, like, to me, this looks like a very much a fine tuning that needs to take place for you. It's like sort of really sifting through your ideas and your thoughts and finding that faith within yourself that you can create the love that you want and you can manifest it. But you have to like sort of start on that path and really set yourself on that path. And in doing so, you have to sort of change some of the things that maybe you've been doing in the past that worked that aren't serving you anymore. Thank you, Joanne. Yeah, there's all kinds of interesting things in here that I've gotten over time. So there's like things from my ancestors and things from, things that I've bought. Something borrowed, something blue. This was from a convention that I went to see Abraham Hicks. It was a pin that you could put on your jacket, and it's actually got a magnet in it, so it picks up metal things sometimes. It only picks up certain things in the box, but it will pick up metal things. So I got that, I think, in Mexico when I was at an Abraham Cruz event or Abraham Hicks event. These came from Mexico. So did this. I can't remember where this ring came from. Thank you. Joanne, these are charmings that I do. They're $25. You pay via PayPal, and I can do them on whatever subject you want. And I just I reach into the box, stir them around, and then bring up a handful when I feel like the time is right, and I let them go, and then we determine sort of what they're feeling like or what they're telling me. I hope Ducky's okay. Generally, she sort of responds, but she hasn't responded. Saying, I made a guess about zero. What did you end up thinking it meant? Well, the zero to me, I don't know if it necessarily is zero per se. It's just that's what that spells out. I would look at this. It's interesting to me because we have 10, which boils down numerologically to a 1. We have 1, 2, 3. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Fours are about stability. You're asking about love and you're asking about work. So this sounds to me like something that we would want. We could take this as two different messages. One is that whatever you're working on right now, you may not feel like you're getting a lot of it, and that's the zero part of it. But we saw that sort of in the charms with the unicorn being turned over and like the luck being sort of upside down. The guy that helps to remove obstacles, he was upside down and face down. So right now we might be feeling like we're getting zero, right? We might be feeling like we're getting a big zero. Remember, faith was turned over. So this was feeling a little bit bunched up, like the energy was bunched up. I've gone and expanded them, so I'm going to put them back because I feel like, to me, this is a magical spell, right? Like I feel like when we do this with the charms, we actually set things right. So I think that we can go from a 0 to a 4, right? We've got this 10, 1, 1, 1, which would be 4 in numerologically. 4s always represent stability to me. Like the 4 legs of a table, they bring balance. The energy of a 4 number to me brings balance. It's also associated with like the Emperor in Tarot, which is all about sort of benevolence and balance and kind leadership, but also sort of a strong discernment. So I think that's what this is about also. Wow, this is kind of cool. I didn't really even thank you for asking. I also think that this is about finding that discernment within yourself and starting to really refine it so that it works for you and brings about the stability you want in your love department and your career department, right? And bringing about that faith in yourself that you can create it and letting go of the thoughts that are limiting that you've learned somewhere that you don't need. You can also really flip this into the future, right? And bring this schoolhouse into like a school of new learning where we're learning new ideas, new ways of being, new ways of like keeping ourselves in our life so that we can move forward and really have the things that we want. So I see like there's a lot of possibility here. I don't think zero is the thing. I think you can go from 0 to stability pretty quickly is what this is saying to me. And that's actually one of the deepest sort of Scrabble tile reads I've gotten yet out of this. We have had some where people's names have been spelled out and stuff that have been kind of wild, but I think that's maybe what they're trying to say with that 0. What are you saying? Right. And see, I think that might be what's going on. So it feels a little bit off right now. That's the jumbled up energy where it feels like you might feel a little bit off. But I think that you have the opportunity to sort of change some stuff up and definitely have faith in yourself and definitely believe in your dreams. Right? And so it might be a little bit, that's what those feathers kind of being wrapped around the dream catcher were a little bit, is maybe now is the time while you have this open space to sort of reestablish what is it that you want, Nicole? Where is it that you want to go? Because I think that you can do it but you have to believe that you can do it. I don't think your luck is upside down in the sense that, like, this luck stuff to me, you might not feel like you feel very lucky right now because you just lost your job. But it's kind of like when we have those moments where we feel unlucky, that's when we really get the opportunity to sort of find our way out of that feeling or find our way out of that experience and realize that we're stronger than that. Exactly. You're getting the feathers unruffled from the last place. It's also helping you clarify what you want. There's a great phrase that Abraham Hicks uses. You can, what is it? How does she say it? She says something about uh, you figuring out what you don't want helps you to figure out what you do want. So it's actually not a bad thing, is essentially the gist of the phrase. Like, sometimes we have to go through the things we don't desire or enjoy so that we can figure it brings us a step closer to finding what we do desire and enjoy. So we can actually be thankful for those experiences. Hey, what you doing, beautiful? So kind of keep that in mind, and that's sort of the faith that we have up here. When you start to cultivate that faith within yourself and know that you're going to be okay, you'll start to, expand, grow, manifest, and also be able to really listen to sort of your spirit, your guides, and connect with that. So do you want to take a screenshot of this? Awesome, Tammy. I see that you sent over payment, so I'll do your charming next. Let me grab my water. I forgot my water in the other room. I'll be right back, guys. One moment. Hello, guys. What keeps sending out big to you? What is this? This yellow one says, believe in your dreams. And this one was upright, right? And it's right next to the big listen. And also you had the manifestation charm upright. You've got to remember those. So these ones here were very much in a positive position in the future. So it's like, to me, I feel like things are shifting for you right now. You just have to start to build that faith and allow them to shift. And as you allow that faith to grow, you begin to believe in your dreams. You'll start to reposition yourself. Hey, Kelly, how are you? What you doing, Arthur? Okay, I'm gonna clear it off then. So go from 0 to stability, girl. That's the theme of this reading today. Thank you for buying a charming. I really appreciate it. Every charming helps support and feed my kittens. So stupid. Come here, hey, come here, Ding Ding, come here. Come here, let's make these people feel really guilty. Come here. Come here. Come here, Ding Dong. Hold on. Come here, come here, come here, come here. Come here, come here. Anybody, come here. Ding Dong. Come here. You're okay. I swear to God. It's so funny. You're such a ding dong. All right, to not sound like Sally Struthers or whatever her name is from the Ethiopian thing, but for just a few cents a day, you too can make sure a kitten like this can eat. I feel like that with the Patreon. It's so awkward. I'm like, for 11 cents a day, you can support me and my kitten. Anyways, single mother's got to eat too, right? All right, so it's funny. I just went to go get him. He was by the chair, and everybody freaked out because I got out of the chair, and they all went running. I had to chase them through the house just to get him to come over here. So let's get into Tammy. Is she wrestling raw waffles tonight? Oh, thank you, Karen, for being at 3333. So you guys will get a free, because the reason why I launched it today is because you guys will get a free charming night. You'll get a free card pull night. You'll get a couple of free different readings that will only be on Patreon. They'll be like pick a cards around your archangels and love and things like that. That will start tomorrow because I'm going to start like building that stuff, and it will come out once a month for you each month. That it's only exclusive to those levels. You'll see. So, and I'll do other stuff too, but I'll just add that stuff in here and there. And then you guys will let me know, since you guys are the first of the 3333s, if you guys are interested in this tarot idea of this class. I only want to do it if people are interested, and then I'm going to start, we'll figure it out, we'll do it on Zoom, and it will be where we all kind of come together one night a month to bring our decks, whatever we want to work with, or whatever we want to learn about. We can either all work with the same deck, or we can work with our own different decks. We can work with an oracle deck or a tarot deck and bring it, and we'll talk about like sort of symbolism, how things like stir in us, what they make us feel, maybe do some meditation stuff, and we'll do that sort of live, or I might do that some portions of it live and then some like as videos. I don't know. I'm gonna sort it out as we go, but it all is dependent on what people want, right? So the subscribers can also like sort of say, hey, can you do this, or can you teach us this? And I'll totally consider it. All right. Yeah, I know he's getting really pretty, isn't he, Lisa, the cat? So yeah, I love his ears too. He's got these little hairs that stick up off the top of them, and they're only gonna get bigger. And his tail is massive. He's got this big, fat, chunky, hairy tail. He's the cutest little shit in the world. All right, so let's get to Tammy. Tammy, what do you want me to charm for you tonight? Tell me. And actually, let me just double check. Okay. 1 second, maybe. Hold on 1 second, guys. Let's see if I can do this. Let's see. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm gonna do you solid right now. I'm gonna leak my first. Hold on. Oh my gosh. I don't know if you guys can see me while I'm on a different screen, but maybe you can. So I'll try not to look too stupid while I'm doing this. All right. So. No, that's not what I want. I want creator account. Oh my god, my computer runs so slow. Okay, posts. How do I... Oh, here's how I make a post. God, see, I'm still learning this whole interface. So, we are going to do... I don't want that. Alright, we're going to do a link. Okay, got it. Thank you. Control V. Okay, post title. Hey ladies, here is the forecast for February 1st. Did I not spell February right? Oh no, I had an extra U in there. Okay, so. And then this should be patrons only. Early access, what does that mean? Oh, that's how I can early access it. Okay. No, I don't want that. I'm gonna post it now, right? Did I not? Oh. Sorry guys, one moment. Did that work? I hope it worked. All right, so you guys for joining. Sorry, such concentration, Regina. I know, totally, right? Well, I get a little tech weird. I freak out a little bit about tech stuff, and I don't want to fuck it up, and I want to make sure everybody gets what they're paying for, kind of thing. So, y'all now have. Hey Janet, I know. I know I was live. I was doing something for the Patreon. So Karen and Tammy, you guys now have access to tomorrow's forecast already on Patreon. So you can go see what the cards are and hear the forecast early before anybody else. You get the future. Woo! All right. So there you go. Ah, you got notified. Cool, Karen. This is going to be a learning curve for me too. Ducky's been telling me to do Patreon for a long time, and I've been nervous about it because it's like a whole new world. So it's cool to know. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have your guys's, anybody that's on Patreon will get the forecast the night before. So like you guys will get the forecast hopefully by like say 8 p.m. the night before. Then the forecast will go live on YouTube the following morning for free at 8 a.m. So it doesn't necessarily change for those who are used to watching it in the mornings on YouTube, but it will give people that want to support me and give me $3.33 a month, they get early access kind of thing. And then for the higher tiers, you get more stuff, like more special readings and things like that. All right, so cool. Tammy's Nana Boo Boo. She's teasing everybody. But it's a cool reading, you guys. It's a cool way to finish out there's 2 new decks today. We're working with 2 new decks, which is great. And I love that today we had for tomorrow's reading, we had another major arcana lead, which has been sort of this theme with this week's of cards, even though we've changed the decks over. So enjoy. This is new to me. It kind of makes it exciting, but I also don't want to fuck it up. All right, Tammy, are you ready for your charming? I get my daily forecast at 4 p.m. each day. That's because you're in Denmark, Nicole. But if you joined, oh, well, that wouldn't be the same, would it? Because you'd still be in Denmark, so I don't even know what time you would get it at 8 p.m. It'd probably be at it'd be 12 hours earlier than 4 p.m., so you'd be getting it at 4 a.m. That wouldn't work for you. Do you have a topic, Tammy? Oh, good, Karen, I'm glad. Okay, that's fine, Regina. Now I'm seeing 3 of everybody's comments. Like I'm seeing Regina's comments 3 times, Nicole's comments 3 times. It's so weird. I don't know why I'm seeing so many copies of everybody's comments. But the YouTube ones are fine. You don't have a topic? Alright, so we're just going to do a general challenge. Oh, let me switch the camera. Sorry, guys. Ah! Alright. Oh, he's back. St. Anthony of Padua is back. Alright, let me get the chat up. We've got a lot of letters today for you. L-U-G. Oh, the unicorn's back too. L-U-G-R. Luger. Isn't that like a gun? A Luger? N and Z. That's a lot of letters. Wow. Okay, Tammy. All right. So, do you want to know where I'm gonna go with this right out of the gate? It's okay that they're back. It's just it's funny to me that some charms sort of show up, even though I sort of stir around the charm board and they are the charms in the box. I move my hand around in there and I still get the same charms. It's interesting to me how that happens. I feel like this is a love charming instantly, Tammy. And the reason why is you've got this red stone right here, which I'm not sure what it says, but this is giving me some sort of love vibe. You also have the lovers down here, sort of in your subconscious. And to me, I feel like this feels like hold on, girl. Like that's what I want to say. Um, the wisdom charm also tells me that like going forward, there's going to be some stuff in your future where you're going to understand. And you have Vishnu here, which he's like sort of the closest charm that I have to God in the box. Because I have a Jesus charm, but I don't have like a one that represents God, like the mighty father, right? So Vishnu in the Indian belief, I've picked him up in New York, this little charm. He's the father of Krishna, which is like in Indian religion, is sort of like the, how God is the father of Jesus. So to me, he's sort of the representation of God. He is face upright, right? So that's really, I feel like a good sign. And I feel like he is sort of in between your wisdom and your mood, like balancing things out. You have the mood ring here, okay? We do have the unicorn, which is sort of like I was saying, magic. And I feel like the unicorn is touching his horn right to the wisdom charm in the future. So I feel like there is this idea of connecting your, how do I want to say this? Like your magic and your wisdom together to sort of bring yourself forward. You do have the remover of obstacles, right? This is Saint Anthony of Padua or whatever his name is. He is the great remover of obstacles, and he's sitting in here face up, kind of like trying to help everything. I really think, and I don't want you. There are astrological charms. There are. I have them in there. Um, so I really think that this is about patience when I look at this. And I look at like this to me feels like faith in some regard. I want to look at see what this is. So this says everything is okay in the end. If it's not okay, it's not the end, Tammy. So, all right, I want to see like I want to feel like I'm talking to you for a minute. It feels to me like this is about patience and faith with your friend that's out of state, to be honest. Like that's what I'm feeling. And I know that you have me read like love stuff for you a lot, and I don't want to like set you up for super excitement, but I feel like there's something that's could shift, that might very well shift. I think that what's important right now is for you to remain sort of positive about it, upbeat about it, open-minded about it. I think that those things are important and key. Your mood is going to be key going into the future. Your wisdom is going to be key. I'm going to turn it back. Your wisdom is going to be key. You're going to want to pay attention to that, what you know to be true and how you're feeling, and let sort of God do the rest of the work, right? Have faith in that and use your own personal magic to know that like obstacles are being removed, right? Even though there may feel like there's obstacles right now, there might feel like right now we've got this sort of thing where there might not feel like there's a lot going on. or like in the past it feels like dead space. Down here in this deeper subconscious, this desire for love is strong, right? We have these embracing lovers down here. So when we have this flipped over, which is this idea that everything is okay in the end, if it's not okay, it's not the end, we need to get to that belief. We need to start to really adopt that and understand that. We also have the elephant charm up here. The elephant to me is always about kind of like strength, uh, and groundedness, an element of sort of family, because elephants travel in family packs and they stay together their whole lives, like if they're allowed to, if they don't get hunted. Aunts and cousins and all of that, they will stay in a pack and they kind of they work together in that way in a herd, right? And so to me, he represents sort of those things. He represents the idea of sort of steady wisdom, familial love, a deep gentleness, right? Like they're these big, giant, strong animals, yet they're very gentle and intelligent. So to me, that's what the elephant represents. He's flipped over, right? It doesn't mean that you're not intelligent or that you don't love your family. What it means is that I think that right now you're trying to connect with these feelings and these ideas again, right? Maybe there's been a period of feeling empty, or things aren't working your way and things aren't maybe progressing, and so you're feeling a little frustrated. But I'm telling you right now in the present time, if you kind of start to work on getting this stuff back in a way, like this strength that you have that's here, it's definitely here, and this belief of everything being okay in the end, if it's not okay, it's not the end yet, that's going to trigger off this sort of personal magic, which sort of helps to lead you and connect you to this wisdom. And that brings in sort of the idea and the gratitude, that brings in sort of, you know, whatever your God is, whatever sort of your connection to a divine help is, right? You're already receiving some of that help with this charm. And I think that your mood is key too. And so you pay attention to those things. And I think that these two charms on either side of Vishnu are a really good combination, with especially with this unicorn there, right? This whole like configuration here to me feels like a very solid future. It feels like a very guided future. Not only guided by, like, say, God, right? But also guided by your mood and your own wisdom and your own magic, right? But you have to believe in that. You have to get strong in that and ground in that and have this, you know, reattach, reconnect to your sense of, like that sense of like family is first. And if this guy is going to be part of the family, like allowing that to happen, allowing that to sort of believing in that again, right? And hopefully you will move towards that in the future. I know that you didn't ask for a love reading, but this kind of feels like that, especially with these lovers down here. Like they're definitely like sort of the driving force behind this idea of this love. So I do believe that things are going to shift. I don't know what all of these letters are. 1, 2, 4, 6, 7, and 1 is 8. 8 is an infinity symbol. This totals to 8. A Luger, I believe, is a type of gun. I know that the girls run the letters through some sort of program online that like deciphers different words and finds meaning in them, but I don't know how they do that. I don't think this is about insecurities as much, Tammy, as I think that, like, because to me, I think that you have the wisdom, you have the magic, you have even the strength of the elephant. I just feel like you're losing hope, right? Or maybe you lost hope back here in the past. And so right now it's about these two charms, getting them kind of back in play. Because your future charms look really good. And he's kind of not only in your future, but he's also in the present. So it feels to me like the driving force here is this love that's deep down in the subconscious, and it's like sort of the focus, and it's pushing you towards having to really start to believe in the idea of if everything's not okay, it's not the end. And if it's, you know, like everything will be okay in the end, and if it's not okay, it's not the end. And also this idea of this focus on your own wisdom, which we have this charm here, your own strength, your own ability to ground, your own focus on like having and maintaining that sort of wonderful connection to family, that love, all of that stuff that represents in the elephant. And the gentleness about with which, you know, elephants, when you think about how strong and how big and lumbering they are, yet they're so gentle, you know, there's that gentleness that you want to maybe take with yourself, with the situation, and just know that, like, if the focus stays like sort of pure, the intent stays pure, the idea stays, your focus stays on the establishing of this connection, and the idea that everything is going to be okay even if it doesn't seem so right now, is going to kick off this sort of feeling inspired, this magic, this wisdom, your mood, and God can kind of come in and sort of help things out, is what I'm feeling. I think you are ready, Tammy. I think you're definitely ready. And I think that this is saying that it's just about that last final step of just really being like okay with everything as it is. And as you get okay with it, you start to open up the opportunities for it to begin to change. You got the screenshot. Awesome. Sorry about all the letters. I don't know. The 8, though, is in like sort of an infinity symbol that could be also very kind of loving and kind too. Those 8 letters, those 8 numbers. So be on the lookout for the number 8, I have a feeling. So does anybody else want a charming? If not, I can maybe do a small group reading for everybody if you'd like. I could pull. Let me see, what cards do I have? I don't want to show you guys the deck that I have. I've used. Let me see. Yeah, let's do that. If nobody wants another charming, I can get like maybe do a little like card pull for everybody. Just something to think about. Maybe a little angel message. Does that work for everyone? Anyone? Does anybody care? Let me see here. Bam. BAM! I'm not doing singular cards, Tracy. I'll just do one for the group kind of thing. Does that work? Singular cards happen on the How I Can Help You hours. But I mean, this little reading will be for everybody, Tracy. So you can enjoy it too. It's just going to be for the group. That's the intention. I'm going to switch the cameras really quick. Let's see here. One more. Hold on 1 second. Okay. So I decided to do three little cards. I'm kind of doing like, I think this is sort of like just a little message for everybody of what we want to focus on. So let's see where we're going to go with this. So we have the shaman, which is trust in the higher forces. And I love that, like, the instant that, oh, whoops, sorry, the card's way out of focus. Come on. There we go. So this says trust in higher forces. And when I look at this card, I love that sort of he's all, the energy to me feels like he's way up in his crown chakra. We have this, the wisdom of the owl up here, sort of branching out of his crown chakra. This is about knowing. This is about connecting to the higher forces, connecting to a more nature-based sort of sense of self, it being the shaman. So to me, this feels like that energy of sort of looking for our answers or our messages, not only in from spirit or from our own intuition, but also from like how it can be mirrored back to us in nature, like through animals, through, you know, sort of the birds singing, or just, you know, this is definitely like an earth-centric card connected to the earth being the shaman card. Um, to me, it feels like it's saying like open up your awareness, open up your ability to see the messages that are all around you, right? That the your guides, your angels, whoever it is that sort of is working with you or for you, is kind of trying to work with you. You have to remember to invite them in, and then when you do invite them in or invite them to sort of work through your life, you also have to be willing to sort of trust that the work that they're doing is for your highest good, and follow that. There is this idea of like sort of paying attention to that and connecting to that through nature, with this being the shaman. So let me look at the next card. So this is eagle. Okay, so let me move this up here. So eagle is see from a higher perspective. So we have trust in higher forces, and then we have see from a higher perspective. So to me, this is about, again, the same the same message, which is like connecting. To me, the trusting is the claircognizance, right? Which is the sort of the knowing, right? We have this owl in his crown, which to me is all about the wisdom of our crown chakra, but we also have this sort of little piece on his hat that makes me feel like a lot of his activities in the third eye and the crown. And so when we look at this eagle, which is see from a higher perspective, to me this is about also clear seeing, right? Which is our clairvoyance. So we have our claircognizance and our clairvoyance. We want to be using our upper faculties at this time. We want to be connecting to our life, to our surroundings, to our environment in a way that is sort of nature based, that is sort of connected through animals, through signs, through, you know, it can sometimes be through people that visit us or experiences that we have. But there's this opportunity here to trust in those experiences and see them from a different perspective. Maybe something that doesn't necessarily look like it's working in your favor could actually have an impact or have some sort of perspective to it that could educate you or teach you something, right? Let's look at the last card. This is Mother Earth. It's feel loved and comforted. So it's interesting to me, this is the Angel and Ancestors deck, so not all of these cards are so earth-based, but when I'm looking at all three of these together, we have the shaman, we have the eagle, and we have Mother Earth. So it's definitely saying to me that you guys need to connect not only to yourselves and to your own trust, or to your own sort of internal knowing, intuition, those sort of things, but it's also about doing that through your connection to the planet. I don't know how many of you, I know that there's about 9 of you in here. I don't know how many of you are doing the breath work and we started running the earth energy. If you're doing that still, continue to do that. Because I think that that's some of what this is about, is that connection to the earth. The shaman is also sort of like a medicine doctor, right? He's sort of, there's actually a card in here called Medicine Woman, but he also works with like sort of the spirits and he trusts them, right? And so from there, we also see things from a higher perspective, and then we want to concentrate on feeling loved and comforted, connected to the earth, connected to the world around us, connected to the environment we're in, and utilize that so that we can um, trust those higher forces and see from a higher perspective, see the greater picture. I mean, this is sort of similar to me with Tammy's charming. It's about kind of opening up her mind a little bit and seeing it from a different perspective. Same with Nicole's. It's about seeing it from a different perspective and embracing that perspective, and then having faith and trust in that and moving forward. So I think that's sort of the theme for everybody who's joined us here tonight, and a focus that you guys might want to keep as you're going through, say, even maybe the month of February. Where can you connect to your environment? How can you connect to nature? How often do you connect to nature? And when doing so, what sort of messages are you being given? Because I think that these messages could be enlightening, and they definitely could be giving you better perspective, higher perspective, trust in like more spiritual forces. Does that make sense? It's all around you, basically, guys. You're welcome, Kelly. You're welcome, Karen. Thank you. Also, I want to say this too, as I'm looking at this Mother Earth card in the screen while I'm just sort of reflecting on this. There is this part that I feel like that's in these three cards that says to me, or what I'm hearing right now is, you are a very important part of your environment. Don't forget that. That's this Mother Earth about feeling loved and comforted. Like there's this idea here that if you start to trust in the higher forces, see from a higher perspective, and really connect in that way, you can begin to start to feel loved and comforted and connected to your own world, to the earth that you walk, the environment that you're in. And when you feel connected and loved in that way and embraced and sort of supported, like look at the moon that she has here on her third eye, which also reminds me of this thing here on his third eye, which is sort of seeing from a higher perspective. They're all sort of connected in that way. You're welcome, Lake. I'm glad you're enjoying this. I'm glad you spoke up. Welcome to the channel. I'm glad you're here. So I think that when you connect and understand that you're a valid and important part in your world, it's like it's all of a sudden becomes the world's not happening to you. You're sort of a part of it. It shifts your positioning in your life. It shifts your positioning in it shifts your perspective, your energy, all of it. Oh, hey, Margaret. Thank you. Margaret Patterson's here, you guys. She is Margaret Patterson 29 on Instagram. She's also a card reader. If you guys are on Instagram, follow her. It's Margaret Patterson 29, correct, Margaret? She's always liking my pictures and stuff on Instagram. She's a huge supporter on Instagram. And she does beautiful readings. Thank you, Lake. So, so kind of go forward in that with this month. And I actually kind of like that we're doing this as we're leading into the first of the month of February. The funny thing too is, and I'll say this, hold on, I'm going to switch the camera for you guys. The funny thing is that in tomorrow's forecast, which only Tammy and Karen have advanced access to via Patreon, I talk about the fact that February feels very feminine to me. I can't get off of this idea of the energy of February feeling feminine, that I feel like January felt very masculine this year. I don't know if they actually have masculine feminine for the years, but for the months. But to me, I felt like I chose two very feminine centered decks, right, for February. It just felt like the right thing to do. I don't know why. And it's interesting because you'll see tomorrow when the forecast comes out, I talk about that. And there's some interesting things in the cards that came out in the new decks that sort of honored that. And I was like, oh, hi. So I see that. I'm going to go back now and switch you guys back. I see that here in this Mother Earth card too. There is a balance here between the shaman and Mother Earth. There's also a connection between the shaman and Mother Earth, right? And then it's funny to me when we look at Mother Earth and the shaman and how they connect, and then we have this bird that sort of is like spirit, right? and sort of like where spirit and material meet in a way, we take flight. So it's interesting because I love that Mother Earth is showing up here the night before February 1st as we're heading into what I feel is this sort of feminine month. That's it. Margaret Patterson, 29 Chic. That's it. Chicago. Okay, that's I thought it was chic. I just thought you were a really cool woman. Yeah. So you guys follow her on Instagram if any of you guys are on Instagram. So I hope that makes sense. I thank you all for tuning in tonight. I really appreciate it. Each and every tune in, each and every watch, view, all of that, all my YouTubers, thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to get my subscriptions up so that I can get to 1,000 so we can have chat over there. It's a long haul and a slog, but each and every one of you helped me get a little bit closer, and I get very excited with each and every subscription, so I really appreciate that. The idea too is also when I get to 1,000 subscribers, it begins to grow even bigger. Then monetization happens where YouTube wants to advertise on my channel. And then the good thing is that I can let them pay me, not you guys. So it's kind of benefits both of us. It benefits me and them, and you, right? By, you know, it will be less about like YouTube. Hopefully, will be giving me room for ad space on the channel. Does that make sense? So, anyways, I appreciate each and every one of you. It helps me to reach my goals so that I can keep this going and continue to do this. And so, thank you. Thank you all for tuning in and everything. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. You can follow me at Engelgeist333. As I said, I do have a Patreon page. I guess my link's not working. You're welcome, Katrina. Have a good day in Australia. Or is it day there or night there? Kat, I am still live. I think so. Let me pinch myself. I am still live, Kat. And we have the same microwave and stove, Kat, by the way. Did you have a question, Kat? You're like, are you still live? This is actually the real me, Kat. Did you have a question? I just want to, I know there's a little bit of lag, so I don't want to like shut it down if you have a question, Kat. It's almost lunchtime there, Katrina. Where are you in Australia? I've been to, maybe I've asked you this before, I've been to Sydney, Melbourne, and Perth. I loved Perth. I had a great time in all three cities. They were great. I would like to go up to the north of Australia. Your country is amazing. Oh, it is February 1st there? Oh, so you should actually have the forecast, but... Oh yeah, I'm still on, Kat. I got on at 6. It's only been an hour and a half, so it's been okay. I'm actually going to sign off and go have some dinner in a minute. Hey Mary, how's Waffle Land? How are you doing fighting waffles? Brisbane, oh cool. That's up in the north, right? In the Gold Coast, right? It's over on this, like, on the north, I think it's northeast? I don't know. It's Queensland? Okay. I've been all the way across the bottom. I went to Sydney for Mardi Gras for my birthday, and then I went from there to Melbourne, and we went to the Kylie Minogue like costume museum, and then we went to Perth. It was a blast. I had a great time. I was there for a month, and I spent like about a little over a week in each place. This was years ago. I would love to go back. I used to love how they used to say, "Good on ya, good on ya." I had so much fun there. It's an hour from the Gold Coast, right? I would love to explore all up there too, because it's gorgeous up there too. I mean, how's everything since the fires have been? Is it really decimated? Because there was this movie a long time ago with Rachel Ward. What was it called? It was about the school bus. Oh my god, it was the scariest movie. I remember watching it as a kid and being like, Fortress, I think it was called. And it was about these kids that got kidnapped in a school bus by these like kidnappers. Oh, the movie scared the shit out of me. It was so good though. And I think it was shot up in that area of Australia where it was all this sort of mountainous, jungly kind of area. Other than that flying water thing. What flying water? You did, Mary. Wow, big step. Mary just says for you on for those of you on Facebook, she said she just went out to dinner with her boss and gave him my 2 weeks notice. Mary's about to hit some big changes. I wish I could join you in those changes, Mary. I need some shifts to happen. I have a house showing here on Saturday. So I might be, you know, fingers crossed. I don't know. I had one the other day and it was the previous owner who came by with the real estate agent. She just wanted to look at the renovations. I was like, are you kidding? Are you kidding me? I cleaned the house for this shit. Serious buyers only, please. Good on you, Sonia. Exactly. I love good on you. Sydney and New South Wales were worst hit. We are fine where I am. Okay. Oh, flying over water. Oh, got it. It's a long flight. I think I went from San Francisco. It was something like, I want to say 14 hours or something. It was a really long flight. But it was worth it. I had a great time there. I had a blast. And I loved the other couple things about like Australian culture that really stood out to me is I feel like you guys don't throw away your old people like we do in America. We sort of like I felt like the older people there were very vital. Like they were still a part of the community. They were out doing things, gardening, all of that sort of stuff. To me, I thought that was really wonderful. I didn't feel like they were like sort of locked up in nursing homes like we do here in the United States, where we sort of like just push old people to the side, put them away. And then what was the other thing? And then just the sense of humor, like the Australian sense of humor. You guys don't mind laughing at yourselves at all, and I love that about your country. Like I think sometimes we in America take ourselves too seriously. You hate airplanes, Kat? Can you see that, Mary, that Margaret's talking to you? I think you can. You both are on YouTube, so I think you can see that comment where she's saying, "Believe in yourself." The golden oldies. I just feel like it's true. Like Australian people, like I just noticed that, like that you guys don't you honor your elders. It's just different. It's just a different way of being. Than I kind of feel like it's not. I think we do dishonor our elderly here. Like we kind of put them in a home or negate their needs or their um, awareness sometimes. You know, we forget that they've lived through an entire lifetime and have all this vast knowledge, and we just go, oh, like silly old person or whatever. I think that's sort of the perspective in American culture, and I didn't feel that at all in Australia. I felt like they were actually treated differently. It was nice. Had to check out and come back. Amazon at my door. Oh, cool. What did she say? You just read an article where they will cut Medicaid. Hey, Kelly, how are you? Kelly Casey's here. I didn't know she was here. You just read an article where they will cut Medicaid, which will force more people out of nursing homes. Where they go, no one knows, and that's scary. That might be a good thing. Maybe it will induce us having to sort of like, you know, take them back in and acknowledge them, respect the elderly. I believe in that. I would certainly want somebody to respect me when I'm old, you know? And so, I mean, I took care of my grandmother, and although she had dementia and we maybe squabbled a little bit, I'm glad that I did it. I also was like the weird kid that used to hang out with old people, though, when I was little. I had this old man that I used to sit with on his porch next door to me. We lived in this apartment building. His name was Sam Rockwell. I loved him. He was the first person I ever saw die. I mean, I didn't see him die, but like he was the first sort of. I remember when he passed away. He was really old. Him and his wife Grace lived next door to us, and I used to sit on the porch with him at night, like at the sunset, and like we would just sit there. We wouldn't even really talk. We would just sit together. I was like this little kid. I was like 8, and I loved him. Ah. I've always liked old people. Like there's just something really wise about them and gentle. And you got to remember that they've lived these like amazing existences, right? They have so much sort of information and knowledge, and we do need to be responsible for our elderly. Regina, you took care of your grandparents as well? That's awesome. I only took care of the one grandmother. My grandfather died very early, and they didn't stay married very long. They were kind of crazy. So I never met my grandfather. I know, Sam is with me, Kelly. I believe that too. I totally believe that. How are you doing, Kelly? I saw you made a strange post the other day about being really upset, but you couldn't talk about it. Can you talk about it now? Is everything okay? Are you just okay? Can you confirm that? I noticed it. I didn't want to ask you on Facebook because your post said you didn't want to get into it. Maybe now's not the good time either. They always told the best stories. Yeah. Well, they just have a vast, like, I took care of my grandmother and my great grandaunt. She was my grandmother's aunt, even though she was only like about 4 years older than my grandmother. They were one generation was having babies, while the oldest, my great grandmother was so many years ahead of my great grandaunt Bernice, right? Who was her sister, but way down the line, the last baby to be had in my great grandmother's line of brothers and sisters. So my grandmother was already born by the time Bernice was born. So they kind of grew old together. And so I took care of both of them. And the amazing thing is even though my grandmother had dementia, Bernice had all of her faculties. She lived to almost 100. And she knew all of where all the skeletons were buried. Like she knew everything about everybody in that town that we were in Montana. She was a blast. And she was smart. Like, even though she couldn't, like, she wasn't super mobile, but her brain was this like smart like a steel trap, and she was funny, and like she would say things or roll her eyes and stuff. We would look at each other, and I don't know, she was just a very wonderful old lady. And then she passed away. I was down in Mexico, and I didn't realize that she had passed away, and I had changed my phone number to a Mexican phone number, and I didn't get notified, and I was kind of bummed that I missed the funeral because I would have gone back for that. Just business issues. Okay. That's kind of what I thought, and I was hoping that you were okay. So. Good. Business is really good. Yay, good. Congratulations. She says, but business is really, really good, and immigration just told me today that I can remain in Mexico for 3 more years. Yay. I have my 3-year too. So I don't know if I'm going to come down and renew it for permanent. I don't know. I think I might renew it for permanent residency, even though I may not live down there. I'm not sure. I'm trying to figure that out. Whether or not I want to. I still have the houses on the market down there. I want to get rid of them. Your great grandmother lived to 105 years old, Lisa? Wow. That's incredible. That is crazy. I think Bernice lived to 99. I don't think she made it to 100. God, this camera is going to, this candle's going to town. Look at the flame on this candle. It's like, seriously, burning out of control. And look at that flame. That's like, jeebus. Seriously burning. You are selling real estate? Sell my house, Kelly. I'll have to contact you. I need somebody to move my house, girl. I have 2 properties that I need. They're on the same property line. Sell them both to a developer, please. Oh, good. I'm glad, Kelly. That's great. I would love to get my money back out of Mexico so that I can be all here and present. so I can go to Florida and live near Paul. Okay, I will send it to you. I'll send it to you via. Can I access it? I don't even know. Oh, Ducky's in class. Okay, good. Ducky's okay. She just sent me a message back. Let me message her really quick. Okay. I just drooled on myself. I must be hungry. All right, you guys. If I'm drooling, I should probably go at this point. I will send you the listing. Let me see if I can do that. Do I have you in here, Kelly Casey? I must have you in here. I don't know how. Oh, there you are. Okay, let me see. Yeah, if I could sell one of these houses, I could get, I could go to Florida. Any one of these houses. That's why I put my house here in Texas on the market because I don't know if Mexico's going to sell. It's been on the market for a while. So there's one. And let me find the other one for you, Kelly. Just so I remember to do this. Oh wait, that's for my Airbnb. Hmm. The other one is with this same real estate agency. I don't have the listing for it, Kelly. It's Casa Valentine at PVRE. Yeah, let's see what happens. All right, you guys, I'm gonna go. I need to get some food in my belly, and I want to go make out with my pets because that's how lame I am. I want to go cuddle with them and find some good TV. I feel like I just got an email from Netflix. This is how much of a loser, not a loser, I shouldn't say this, but this is how excited I get. There is a new documentary about Taylor Swift. And I want to go watch it. So I'm going to go do that because that will be like mindless fluff for me. And she dated my boyfriend Harry Styles, so I hate her. So I have to go find out what she has that I don't, besides hair. All right, you guys, have a great night. And I always enjoy making out with my dogs. Like, I just like to, they all come around and lay on the bed with me and we all cuddle. It's great. All right, you guys, thank you everybody who tuned in. Thank you for watching. Please, always tune in when you can and let people know about me. I will see you guys later. And thank you everybody that bought a charming. Thank you to Karen for checking out the Patreon page and supporting me at Patreon. Thank you to Tammy for supporting me at Patreon. You guys blew my mind. I was totally telling Ducky that like I didn't know that anybody would go for the higher, and Ducky's like, no, I bet you they sell out those higher spots. I was like, really? So you guys are instilling faith in me, and thank you. So you guys can check out my Patreon page if you'd like. It's listed in the group on Facebook, but it's not mandatory. It's just a way to support me if you feel that so inclined. All right, you guys. And I will talk to you guys. I'll see you guys. Well, I won't see you. There will be the morning forecast will go off, and I'll be probably in the chat because I'm having fun chatting with you guys live during the premieres. So that's scheduled, and then I'm gonna work on tomorrow's February 1st love pick a cards. So I'm gonna do that. That's gonna be probably the goal tomorrow. I gotta get this one box unboxed tomorrow, and then I'm gonna start the pick a cards for February 1st. I'm gonna try and do one for Valentine's Day, specific to Valentine's Day, and then one for maybe like twin flame something or other, because that seems to be quite popular and people ask those questions all the time. So keep an eye out for those. And I will talk to you. And also, you know, you guys, it's February Taroscopes. They went up like a week ago, but they're still on the YouTube channel. So if you go and check them out, you could look at those and see what does your February maybe have in store for you. Leave me a comment. Let me know if it makes sense on the YouTube channel, or ask any questions there and I'll try and answer them for you. If I go back and watch the video, I might be able to better clarify what I meant, if there's anything that's not clear or whatever. All right, you guys, have a great night, and I will see you all soon. All right, take care. Bye.